Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the film The Hoodlum, which is an American film produced in 1951. Vincent Lubeck has been a criminal since his childhood, and he spent the last 5 years of his life in jail. He was not supposed to go on parole in that moment. However, his elderly mother begged the authorities to release him. Then the authorities felt sorry for the mother and decided to release Vincent from jail. Then he met again after some years his brother Johnny, who wasn't pleased at all to have met him. Then they arrived home and Vincent got to know that now Johnny was the owner of a gas station. Then the mother pleaded Johnny to hire Vincent to work with him, and then Johnny reluctantly agreed. Then, after a while, Vincent got to meet a woman who was a very strong woman, independent, ahead of this time, who worked as a secretary of the bank across the street. Then at first he flirted with the woman, but after realizing that the woman knew a little bit too much about the armored cars that delivered money to the bank, then he decided to use this woman as a source of information. Because actually Vincent never changed, even though his mother pleaded to him and his family was trying their best to give another chance to Vincent in life. He could only think about crime. He was a person with a terrible personality who didn't like anyone, who didn't care about anyone. And of course, when he realized there was a bank across the street and someone who could give him information about the bank, he wanted to rob that. In the meantime, he was more acquainted with the girlfriend of his brother, Rosa, and then he seduced her. And after a while, Rosa talked to him and begged him to marry her, that she would leave Johnny for him, that they would be together. Then, by this time, Vincent had already lost interest for Rosa. And then Rosa took her own life. But Rosa was an orphan, so the mother of Johnny and Vincent would take care of Rosa's funeral because she had no one else in the world. Then she found out that Rosa was 2 months pregnant when she took her own life. And then she understood that the father wasn't Johnny, her boyfriend, it was Vincent. And then Vincent got to find some other criminals to help him rob the bank. And then they got to put their plan into practice by pretending there was a fake funeral so they could run away and kind of distract the police. However, Vincent was too arrogant to imagine that the other members of the gang actually wanted to betray him. They didn't really want to give the money to him. And then, on the day when they were supposed to share the money, the gang told Vincent that they would give him no money. Then they beat him on his head and left. However, when the other criminals left, they ended up passing away in a car accident, and now Vincent was the only person still alive who took part in the bank robbery. And of course, he was being chased by the police everywhere. After a while, Vincent woke up. He fainted when he was beaten on the head. And then he realized that he needed to run away, that his life was in danger. Then, having nowhere to go, he decided to go to the house of the bank secretary. However, this woman, she was really tough and brave, and in fear that Vincent would implicate her in this crime, she got to find a weapon and kicked Vincent out of her house. So Vincent wanted to hide in his house but couldn't. Then his only choice was returning to his home. When he returned, he found out that his mother was about to pass away. Then, by this time, his mother had already regretted having begged for his parole, and then she told Vincent that she knew everything about Rosa's pregnancy, that he was the father, and told him that she was aware of all the crimes he committed, that he was a monster. Then Vincent started crying, but it was too late for tears. And then his mom passed away at that exact moment. Then, as soon as his mother passed away, Johnny arrived and he was carrying a gun. He already knew what happened to Rosa, and he was extremely upset because Vincent had all the opportunities in life to go straight, and he harmed his entire family. Then Johnny took Vincent to a kind of dump, a kind of landfill around. But when they were there, Johnny didn't have the nerve to kill his own brother. Then, for any reason, somehow the police got to follow them both. And then, a short time later, they arrived in the landfill and got to arrest Vincent for his crimes. And then Johnny was there all alone. His mom had passed away, his girlfriend too, and he had to start his life from scratch while Vincent was being truly punished for his crimes. It's a very short film. It's around 1 hour long. It has a very interesting lesson that it's not worth it to be a criminal, that it's always better to be honest, to adjust to a good life. So it's a really educative film in this regard. It's a low-budget film. Most actors in the cast, they are not very well known, but they provide good acting. It's an entertaining film with a good message, even though violence is displayed. And it's shown that Vincent, sure, he had problems in his life. He had traumas, but he also had a chance to be better, but he couldn't see that. He only thought about being big, going big in life, megalomaniac, but he couldn't realize that crime was not the way of doing that. And he had no remorse. He only showed remorse when his mom, who was the only person on earth who still liked and believed him, he only showed some remorse when his mom scolded him and then passed away in his arms right afterward. So it's a very nice film. It's short, you don't even feel the time passing. It's very simple to understand, and I'm sure you're going to love that. This is considered a noir film. It shows that you don't have those heroes and the criminals. You have human beings with qualities and faults. Nothing is perfect, nothing is totally horrible either. So it gives to the characters a very relatable thing. So you can see people like Vincent, Johnny, Rosa, and so on, everywhere, literally around the corner. That's all for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you!